A safe company proves they're not so safe. I'll tell you why in a minute. But before we begin, hi, my name is Jacob Airy. This is my vidcast, StudioJake, where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like this video, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment in the comment section below, and of course, subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscriptions, and once I do, I will do an Ask Me Anything live stream. And I'm almost there. I'm well over 890, so just barely not at 900. So any sort of push or clicks of that subscribe button would really help me out. All right, so safes. What does this have to do with pop culture? Well, in a way, safes are a part of culture. Companies keep important documents in them, banks keep money in them, and then for your own personal lives, you can keep, your own finances, your own financial records, your family heirlooms, family jewelry, whatever it is, inside that safe. And one of the most prominent ones, one of the most popular ones, or should say safe companies, is Liberty Safes. One of the reasons they are so popular is among hunters because of their gun safes that they have. They just let that all crash and burn. So basically what happened was this, the FBI contacted them and they snitched. Bottom line, end of story. And what happened is, my understanding is they got a warrant to search the property of a gentleman who is alleged to have been at that event that happened after January 5th a few years ago. That was not as bad as any of the Antifa riots, but that the media blows out of proportion among all the celebrities, that event. And so basically what happened was the FBI came to them. Now remember, they don't have a warrant for Liberty Safe to give them anything. They only have a warrant to search this guy's property. So what they did, apparently, it's alleged, is that they went to Liberty Safe and say, hey, we need access to this guy's safe. We know he owns a Liberty Safe. Could you, tell us how to get in? And apparently Liberty Safe just gave up the information. And, it was so shocking to see this footage. They raided this guy's place of business, his home. They allegedly held his girlfriend at gunpoint and while they broke into his safe and everything. And, this guy has not had a day in court. As far as I have heard, he's not been accused of any crime. So I don't know why a judge would give someone a warrant. You can't, just because you are at a location of a crime does not make you an accessory to a crime. That's basic constitutional analysis. But Liberty Safe, they just chirped along. But one thing that is really disturbing about all this is them revealing that they had backdoor access to this guy's safe. And it says, and this is kind of revealed in a statement they gave after the incident. So it said, on August 30th, 2023, Liberty Safe was contacted by the FBI requesting the access code to a safe for an individual for whom they had a warrant to search their property. Our company protocol is to give access code to law enforcement if a warrant grants them access to a property, but not your property. After receiving the request, we received proof of valid warrant, and only then did we provide them with an access code. Liberty Safe had no knowledge of any details surrounding the investigation at the time, so why give them the code? Liberty Safe is devoted to protecting the personal property and Second Amendment rights of our customers and has repeatedly denied requests for access codes without a warrant in the past. We do not give out combinations without proper legal documentation being provided by authorities. We regularly update our policies to ensure both compliance with federal and state law and reasonable consumer privacy protections within the law. First and foremost, Liberty Safe is committed to preserving our customers' rights, and we will remain unwavering in those values. Okay, so basically they're saying we snitched, even though the warrant wasn't for us, it was just for this person. Now, if a company is given a court order, like in a warrant, to do this, I understand they didn't have a choice, but that's not what happened here. The FBI had a warrant to investigate this gentleman's property, and and then they went to Liberty Safe for help, and Liberty Safe just surrendered. And one thing that the quartering pointed out, and as well as political commentator Benny Johnson pointed out, that Apple was asked to do this for the FBI, and they refused. Apple cares more about your civil rights than LibertySafe does, and that's I know it's a low bar because Apple really doesn't care about the privacy of their customers. But for them to say no, we're not going to give you backdoor access to, I think it was an iPhone at the time, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And I want to, before I continue, I just want to give props to the Hodge twins. They're a group of comedians. I believe they have a Rumble show. They're really funny, and they're the ones who broke this story. And the person who had the warrant against them is a gentleman named Nathan Hughes. Like I said, he's accused of being at that event that happened after January 5th a couple of years ago. So, well, they received huge backlash, including from yours truly. So much that on X, they actually locked the comments because the backlash was severe. Well, the Post Millennial is reporting that they've now backtracked. So, like I said, this is from the Post Millennial. I always poke fun of them on X because they're always giving Tim Pool shout outs for some reason. So I always jokingly call them the Tim Pool Millennial or the Tim Pool magazine, because they're like always promoting Tim Pool, which I think is so funny. Anyway, it's their article says, following backlash over its decision to provide the Federal Bureau of Investigation with the code for alleged 6 riot attendee Nathan Hughes' gun locker, LibertySafe has issued a statement reversing course. Under its new policies, customers will have the ability to remove their combination from the database if they so choose, and the company will only comply with law enforcement when subpoenaed. We listen to our customers and update our products and practices in response to their evolving needs, LibertySafe wrote in a statement released Wednesday evening. Effective immediately, existing customers can visit, and they get the website and fill out the form to have records to their access codes expunged. The company added that new customers will have the ability to do so in the coming weeks. This change allows customers to take control of how their information is stored and protected. We understand that many of our customers are willing to assume the responsibility and safeguarding their own combination. LibertySafe explained that those who chose to opt out of storing their codes in the database will have limited recourse if they lose access. The company went on to note that it had revised its policies regarding compliance with law enforcement. Going forward, it said, we will require a subpoena that legally compels LibertySafe to supply access codes, but can only do so if these codes exist in our system. A few web sleuths also did some digging into LibertySafe's policy on this. They actually won't provide the customers with their code. It says so in their terms of service. You have to have a locksmith come and open your safe if you lose access to your safe. But they'll readily give it to law enforcement, or I guess not anymore. It's too late. The damage was done. What's missing from this statement is an apology. We're sorry we did this. We're sorry we let you down. Alex Bergman, who took over the Star Trek series after Gene Roddenberry died, he gets a lot of flack for how he handled, some of the Voyager, Deep Space Nine, and Enterprise stuff. But the fact of the matter remains is when fans expressed dissatisfaction with how the show Star Trek Enterprise ended, which I saw the finale, it was not good. When I saw it, I was very disappointed in it, and he actually humbled himself and apologized. He didn't attack the fans. He didn't blame the fans. He came out and said, I'm sorry, I let you down. I was just trying to do something different with this show's finale, and I'm sorry. And, that is such a lack of humbleness you see today in, Hollywood, but also just in industry. And I know this is a little bit of an off-topic subject, but the fact is, if you want to protect your things like physical media, I'm a big proponent of collecting physical media, then you're going to have to look elsewhere. LibertySafe. It's so funny. I actually checked eBay because I was a little curious. After this incident, there are LibertySafes polluting eBay now. Granted, I had never looked at it before, but looking at the dates of some of the auctions, a lot of them came after this incident. I don't think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be sold. Another thing that the dossier today, Jordan Schatzel and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name. I've met you in person once at a political event, and I should know your name. I apologize, Jordan, if you're watching, or if one of your fans are watching. Please correct me if I mispronounce your last name. I apologize. But one of the things he has pointed out is that Liberty Safe is actually not owned by a safe company, as it were, no pun intended. He says on Twitter, or excuse me, he says on X, Liberty Safe is owned by a New York-based super woke private equity firm. Before that, they were owned by a publicly traded company that was equally terrible. Good idea to never buy a safe from a company with that structure. They won't be on your side when it matters. And that is so true. Well said. And all that to say, I think that this is going to be bigger than Bud Light, especially with the reputation that Liberty Safe had until, they blew it. And it's going to be a very, very long time. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they're going to have to sell the company. Hopefully they'll sell it smartly. But whatever the case may be, Liberty Safe just destroyed their business. And, speaking as someone who is a professional marketer, how they handled it all wrong. They did the whole no you thing or no they thing or no them, whatever it is, instead of just humbling themselves and apologize. The fury would have lasted for 24 hours, but like Bud Light, they have to double down. They have to give like this obfuscation. They say, oh, we're going to change our ways. And everyone knows it's not the case. It's not going to happen. So I just don't see Liberty Safe being safe anymore. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up, that you'll leave me a comment, tell me what you think, that you'll share it out with your friends, and of course, consider subscribing to StudioJake. I cover all kinds of nerd and pop culture topics, including film, television, anime, comic books, and so much more. I hope that you'll also head over to my main website, StudioJakeMedia.com, where I have even more news, views, and commentary. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, head over to my locals page. That's studiojakemedia.locals.com. It's the best way to support me. I'm trying to build a little community there. I have exclusive reviews and articles, so definitely head over there and check it out. And I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.